This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Money.
Well, that was a short intro, wasn't it? Let's try that again.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Money.
Like that intro so much, we had to do it twice. So welcome, everybody, to the Good Neighbor Podcast live. So today I'm really excited to have one of my favorite subjects in the studio with us for the first time, food. I'm a big fan of food, so I'm sure you are as well. And we'll be just as excited as I am to meet our guest and learn all about them and their business. Because today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Mr. William Dissen. Is it Dissen? Dissen. I'm sorry.
Dissen.
William Dissen, who is the owner, operator of the Marketplace Restaurant. William, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Skip.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. And like I said, I love food, love restaurants, and would love to hear all about yours. So why don't you kick us off by telling us about what you do?
Sure. Yeah, my name's William Dissen. I'm the chef and owner of the Marketplace Restaurant in downtown Asheville, North Carolina. We are one of the original farm-to-table restaurants here in the Asheville area, celebrating our 46th anniversary this year in 2025.
Wow.
I've been the chef and owner for the last 16 years. We're considered one of the greener restaurants in America with our commitment to local food and local economy. We also are really green business in terms of how we operate a zero waste kitchen, a solar powered restaurant, and really do our best to lower our footprint where we can.
Wow. Well, first of all, congratulations, 46 years. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. 16 for me, which is also a pretty good haul.
Heck of a haul, man. Congratulations. Well, it sounds like you're very successful. How did you get started in this business?
Yeah, I grew up in Appalachia in Charleston, West Virginia, and had my first job in the restaurant industry washing dishes at a local country club. And like a lot of other cooks and chefs, a lot of times what happens, somebody didn't show up to work or got called out sick, and the chef said, "Hey, you think you can make salads and sandwiches?" So I got promoted from washing dishes into the actual kitchen. And after a few months of that, I just caught the bug, as they say. And it was, I loved food, and I loved the energy and the vibrancy of a kitchen. And here I am many years later.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's a heck of a story. Charleston, West Virginia, beautiful, beautiful country.
It is. Yeah, I love Appalachia. I've been fortunate to live all over the country for work and education. And, when I had the opportunity to start my own business, I missed Appalachia and ended up finding Asheville, and it felt so much like home. In Western North Carolina, it felt like a lot like West Virginia, but lots going on here, and it felt like right place, right time to get involved.
All right. Well, what are some myths or misconceptions in the restaurant business?
I think people see a busy restaurant on a Friday or Saturday night, and they think, "Oh man, these guys are just making tons of money." But they don't necessarily come to the restaurant on a Monday or Tuesday in the middle of winter when it's snowing outside. Every business has its ups and downs, and I think that's one of the misconceptions about restaurants. And I think another thing is that restaurants, and chefs in particular, are loud and yell and scream all the time. And I think, like any of us, we have our moments, but the famous chef Anthony Bourdain had a comment. He said, restaurants are a lot like a pirate ship. People are yelling and screaming, and things are set on fire, and feels like you're rocking up and down. And they can be that way, but my goal is to make it more like a cruise ship, where things are organized and planned and stable, and we're having martinis on the top deck at sunset.
There you go. That sounds good. Yeah. That's a good goal. Well, outside of work, what do you like to do for fun?
Part of the reason I moved back to Appalachia all these years ago is I love the outdoors. I love hiking, trail running. I do, camping, just being outside. We do a lot of foraging for the restaurant with all the wild food in the area. I love fly fishing the mountain streams for brook trout and rainbow trout, all the above. Appalachia is a beautiful place to get outside and play.
Yes, it is. We're very fortunate to live here. I'm a fly fisherman myself.
Oh, nice.
Got to admit, and I tell you what, if that's my favorite place to be is standing in the middle of a stream, and especially brook trout. They're so much fun.
They are.
To catch the little ones. Plus, they taste delicious.
They do. Yeah, no, we're lucky to have some great spots all around this. The Eastern Tennessee and Western North Carolina area. There's a lot of streams and rivers to go get lost in.
Do you have trout at your restaurant?
We do. We work with. We can't use wild trout at the restaurant because of health code laws. But we have a really wonderful trout farm we work with in Canton, North Carolina, called Sunburst Trout. And it's really amazing farmed rainbow trout that comes just below the Shining Rock Wilderness, Western North Carolina area in Canton, and it's spectacular.
Oh wow, man, love some trout. So let's switch gears for a second. Can you describe a hardship or a life challenge that you've overcome and how it made you stronger in the end?
Well, I think a lot of us here in Western North Carolina can talk about one that was near and dear. Almost a year ago, we all dealt with Hurricane Helene as it blew through so forcefully through the Western North Carolina area. Shut our business down for about 70 days. I tell folks, I said, imagine if you were a doctor, attorney, or accountant, and you weren't able to produce revenue for 70 days. What would you do? Or you didn't get a paycheck for 70 days. What would you do? And they said, well, I don't know what I'd do. How'd you overcome that? And I'd say it was, one of our biggest pivots ever. COVID, I hate the word pivot we all use from COVID, but after Helene, it was definitely that here. And, learn to really take things down to brass tacks of how we operate and to figure out, who we are at the base of it, and, spend a lot of time cooking for the community, getting out and helping where we can. And also trying to double down on how we support the community through, our local purchases as well.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. I've done a lot of interviews in Black Mountain, Swannanoa, Asheville, Marshall, Weaverville, and everybody was affected by that.
Yeah.
Very resilient area.
It is, and it's sad to think about. But I also believe hardships help you to grow, to become a stronger person. And, definitely something we're trying to get out now is Asheville is open, and we're ready for people to come back and experience our wonderful mountain hospitality here in Asheville. So encourage everyone to take a road trip and come visit. Come see us at the marketplace.
Well, we're going to do our absolute best to get the word out for you, brother. So, William, if you could think of one thing that you would like our listeners to remember about the marketplace, what would that be?
Good food starts with fresh ingredients. And I think one thing about Appalachia, and I always reminisce back to my grandparents who were farmers in West Virginia, is that they lived off the land and they supported themselves in a sustainable way by growing ingredients, raising some livestock, preserving, canning, pickling, all these kind of Appalachian ingenious, lifestyle ways, right? The way that they live by, and that a lot of us have lost over the years. And I think it's an opportunity to be a little more thoughtful about how we live, and how we eat. Good food is important in our lives. We all have to eat 3 times a day. And if we can be thoughtful about how we eat, it's good for us. It's good for the environment. It's good for the community. It's a great way to support one another within our community.
Very good thing to remember. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And for those of us who are intrigued and would like to come check out the trout or any of your fresh green foods, how can we learn more?
You can visit us at marketplace-restaurant.com. Check us out on Instagram, marketplace.avl. Follow me on Instagram, Chef Billy D. Come see us at 20 Wall Street in downtown Asheville. We are a casual fine dining restaurant, currently open 5 days a week, Tuesday to Saturday for dinner, and come taste our delicious seasonal menus.
All right. Sounds wonderful. You heard it here, guys. Asheville is open, and the marketplace is the place to be. So thank you so much, William. I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking time out running a restaurant. I know you're busy, especially if you're a chef too. But we appreciate you coming on the show and telling our listeners all about you and what a great place the marketplace is, and wish you and the marketplace, your staff and your family all the best moving forward.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Skip.
Absolutely. Maybe we can have you back sometime. All right, man. Have a good one.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptry-cities.com. That's gnptry-cities.com or call 423-719-5873.